Today I'll be discussing Laura Doyle's book, Things Will Get As Good As You Can Stand. She begins with focusing on being a good receiver will help you override any temptation to dismiss or reject the things that you say you want, but that you can't seem to get. In other words, when you change your behavior to become a good receiver, when you tolerate having what is good and pleasurable for you, you will have more peace in your life. When you discover the bounty of time, love, and everything else that is good that comes as a direct result of receiving, you increase your capacity for more wonderful, surprising, exciting, tender things to happen to you. My husband's number one goal when we met was to give, to make me happy. Every time he bought me something, took me out to eat or on a trip, I questioned how much he was spending. I didn't believe that I was worthy of one dime being spent on me. That can hinder anyone's desire to give. That can rob any happiness that you were meant to experience based on the willingness of someone to give. It happened many years into our relationship and also into our marriage. I also rejected his compliments. I would always tell him he was biased. I believe that really hurt him and caused him to stop complimenting me altogether. Knowing how to give is important, and most women are wonderful givers. But we can't be good friends, wives, mothers, colleagues, and sisters without also learning to receive. Most important, your friendships and love relationships will grow stronger and more intimate as you become a gracious receiver. That's because receiving requires vulnerability, which in turn creates closeness born from a sense of trust. Good receivers know that they are also giving something when they simply let someone else please them. We tell ourselves we are just being efficient, considerate, and modest when someone is giving us something. But whatever the reason for rejecting gifts and compliments, the result is still the same. You are rejecting things that are meant to give you pleasure and enjoyment. She has also included a quiz called You Are a Gracious Receiver and what your score says about you as a receiver. Receiving with grace means you take whatever is offered to you with ease and kindness. To be grateful is to be polite, and to be polite when you've been offered anything from a glass of water to dinner to an expensive restaurant means accepting that you offer it with thanks. Why? Because to reject a gift is to reject the giver. My husband struggles with giving me compliments or gifts to this day because of the rejection. I had no idea the ways in which I killed the acts of kindness for him. It is also so damaging. A lot of these things come from a journey of finding yourself, finding how God created you. We cannot let our past define who we are. I was doing that when I treated my husband this way. He knew my value and my worth before I did, and I was blinded by others' opinions of me. We as women need to develop our own opinions of ourselves that are positive because when God created us, He had a purpose for each and every one of us. His opinion of us is what matters, and surrounding ourselves with others that see our potential and help guide us and support us. It is true. Once we love ourselves, we can love others. If we devalue ourselves, that doesn't leave room for people to show value in us. This book talks about self-realization, taking compliments, and so much more. God did not make us simple beings. We are all complex with baggage, different experiences, different intelligence levels, but we all show love in the same way. We all show kindness and values in others the same way. So those of us with poor examples of expressions of love take a little longer to feel comfortable with accepting and showing love. We require patience from those that take the risk to love us. I cannot express in words the level of love and appreciation that I have for my husband. He never left me or chastised me for these faults. He showed me unconditional love. The only one in my life who did this from my teenage years into adulthood. After our children came, my willingness to accept love from a baby to my grown kids became easier. But even after all this, it's still a struggle that likes to rear its ugly head. In those times, I must remember who I am in Christ and how Christ extends that love to me. It must become second nature. Today, I urge you to think of how you love. How do you accept love? Are you struggling with worthiness? Ask God today to help you one step at a time. Maybe you need to just say thank you after a compliment. Maybe you need to just accept a gift without feeling you owe someone a gift back. Maybe you need to just accept the words, I love you, as truth and not because someone is biased towards you. Maybe you don't know if this is a problem. Ask God to search your heart today. Do you feel worthy as His child? Search your heart today and seek who you are in the mirror. Do you find strength in your identity as a child of God, or do you have some areas that you still could use some work on? If so, this is a really great resource to help you get real with who you are and who you want to become.